When we start a business, we want to succeed, and we are determined to do well. We see the picture of what we'll achieve in a few years' time. But unfortunately, over 80% of the business fail within the first 18 months. Those 80% certainly didn't aim to fail from the beginning. So what's the difference between fail and success? Back in 1995, when internet just became popular, and Google wasn't even available at the time, I was interested in business and registered a company when I was still at the university. My goal was to create this global portal for online shopping, but without knowing what's needed to run a business and a commitment to follow through, the business was short-lived. But it was a great idea, as you see today. Apart from studying, I also enjoy playing sports. For my very first golf round, I got a birdie, so I thought I should become a professional golf player. I started to practice hard and spent hours on the driving range, hitting balls after balls after balls. But my game didn't improve as much as I liked, so I took golf lessons and realized I need to learn to manage my training schedules. I shouldn't just go to the driving range and hitting 1,000 balls at a time. Golf is a sport where you never take the same shot twice from the same spot. So I need to divide my time into develop skills in different aspects of the game, like driving, chipping, putting, etc. I was quite dedicated. I even spent a lot of time on the amateur circuit. Unfortunately, I failed that goal as well, but the process has given me the opportunity to understand that I need to learn multiple skills, and I need to set plans. I graduated with an engineering and arts degree in 1998, but I decided to focus on bioinformatics, a combination of biology and computation for my PhD. I understood I need to learn about biology, genetics, and computation, which I didn't learn. Without this background knowledge, it would be impossible for me to do research in this field. So I found my countryman called Dr. Sen-Ling Tan, who was doing his postdoc at the Department of Microbiology at the same university. And he agreed to give me private classes on biology and genetics twice a week for a year. So in return, I buy him the famous Taiwanese bubble tea, and we'll go through the textbooks together and share ideas. In 2002, I have a paper published in the field in the Journal of Bioinformatics. And it's the first publication in this field from our research group and also from our university. My supervisor was happy, so we decided to shift our focus towards bioinformatics. And because I had early success in bioinformatics, and I failed golf, so I sort of accept that I should build a career on bioinformatics. I think there's a strong correlation between life and sports in general, that it will require multiple skills in order to complete a single task. So this time, before jumping right into the field, I decided to carefully look on my own capabilities and what I have and what I need to develop in order to be successful. At that time, I had some knowledge about biology, genetics, and computation. I had some experience in analyzing artificial genetics data, but I didn't really have any experience in analyzing real-world biological problems. So I decided to send my CV to a biology institute. In 2007, my publication and experience as a postdoc gave me the edge to land a position at Academia Sinica, a premier research center in Taiwan, where I was tasked to create the bioinformatics core facility. The purpose of the core facility was to provide bioinformatics consultations and services to all researchers in the institute. It was a great learning opportunity for me as it allowed me to operate the facility like a small business where we provide service for fees, and with small income, we might even hire extra assistants. Academia Sinica turned out to be critical for my career as it gave me the experience in setting up a team, creating a service list, solving real-world problems, and managing customer relationships. The university professors are hard to manage and hard to negotiate. I was at Academia Sinica for 2.5 years. In 2010, it was the time when DNA sequencing technology experienced its most rapid decrease in price. New and better equipment will come to the market every 6 to 12 months, with the aim of dropping the cost of whole human genome sequencing to $1,000. Considering that in 2003, the first draft human genome sequencing was complete with a budget of $400 million. So at this rate, I thought everyone's DNA would be sequenced one day. It would be great to have a goal to do that. I didn't set a time of when that goal would be achieved, but I knew I needed to build a team first. So I created this company called Yourgene Bioscience with two departments, DNA sequencing and bioinformatics. The business plan was simple. It was to build a team that will have enough skills and experience so that we'll be able to sequence everyone's DNA and provide important health information. And second goal, the business has to survive until when the time has come. So we decided to provide research services to hospitals, universities, and government centers so that we'll have income to build and sustain our team. After a couple of years, the company was growing steadily. But I saw there was increasing competition in the service market. So I was constantly thinking about our business models and how we can make change for the better. Then there was a chance to develop a clinical test for a pregnant mother called NIPT, where we'll take the blood from the mother, and then we're analyzing the fetal DNA which is present in the mother's blood. And then we can provide very accurate genetic information on the baby. At that time, we operate our business in a service mode, where we'll collect samples from the client, perform analysis, and give a report back to the client. The model works fine in a clinical service market, but for international clinical service, there's a requirement on report turnaround time, as well as restrictions on sample export. So we decided to change our model into an internet-based solution, where we'll partner with local laboratories. The local laboratory will collect samples, perform DNA sequencing, and will help analyzing the data from the cloud. So the new model worked fine and solved our problems of international clinical market requirement. But as a result, it allowed our company to grow rapidly. Apart from needing to be adaptive on the business model, I was also constantly thinking about our management structures. I was thinking that perhaps the company would perform better by appointing others as a manager, or remove myself as a CEO position. As often with technology companies, the founders were often the scientists that create the technology, but not necessarily the best candidate to lead and manage the company. So from the first year, I was thinking about creating the team that will be able to manage the company one day. I was looking to give the leadership experience to our team members and allow them to make errors. It was a long-term process, and finally, after 6 years, I promoted our laboratory director to become our general manager. There are also many other skills that cannot be developed internally. So I reached out to my good friend, Mr. Ken Su and Dr. Alan Chang, who is expert in finance and international marketing, and Alan is expert in intellectual property. They agreed to join us, so our team now has the skills in DNA sequencing, data analysis, management, finance, marketing, and IP. So we're much better equipped than ever to move forward. In 2016, we met a strong competitor from Europe called Primeta Health. Primeta Health is a public listed company in the UK, so I thought we probably would not have enough resources to compete with them as a private company. So if we can't beat them, we might as well join them. So after a couple of discussions, we agreed to merge. At the same time, there's a company in Taiwan which I co-founded back in 2012 called Solviva Genomics. And then they also went public on the Taiwan Stock Exchange. So all of a sudden, after 6 years, I found Yourgene. I became a significant shareholder for two public listed companies in two different countries. So just think back how much I've learned again throughout these years when I first tried a business when I was at university. People have asked me how I planned for this when I started Yourgene in 2010. I think vision is actually just about seeing some simple ideas and moving gradually towards with steps. And eventually, hopefully, you will arrive at your final destination. In our case, I set a goal of sequence everyone's DNA, set up a company called Yourgene, I create an algorithm for prenatal screening, go into the international market, and merge with Permeta Health. And note that I still haven't reached my goal yet. But going back to the question of how to run a successful business, I think it's about constantly learning the skills that's required to reach your goal. You may need to change your goal, or you may not reach your goal one day eventually. But by keep learning, you'll be able to achieve many successful milestones along the way. Thank you.